Ok, hello anh em, chào anh em đã quay trở lại với kênh NEO-NtG. Thì, đầu tiên tôi muốn, xin lỗi anh em chỗ này xíu, thì hôm qua chúng ta dừng lại ở bên cái chỗ, gọi là, sau khi gặp được Adventuring đó, đúng không? Thì Adventuring cho chúng ta biết được thông tin là Acheron không phải là một, cảnh binh thiên hà mà là một lệnh sứ, và cô ta là tiêu diệt luôn cả cái, party, hay là cả một cái, nhóm của băng hủy hoại đó để cướp đi cái thời mời đi lại cái buổi tiệc ở, Penacony. Thì đáng lẽ là chúng sẽ tiếp tục ở ngay chân khúc đó, nhưng mà tại vì buổi tối tôi có vào chơi lại, và tại vì nó đầy cái năng lượng khai phá đó, anh em cũng hiểu rồi. Mà tại vì cái bối cảnh trong cái nhiệm vụ này là nó bắt chúng ta phải đi tiếp làm cho xong thì tôi mới có thể thoát ra ngoài, tôi đi farm đồ được, thì bắt buộc là tôi phải đi tiếp, mà tôi là hông có livestream ở trong cái giờ đó, thành ra là anh em, mất đi cái khúc đó, mà mất cũng hông có nhiều á anh em, nên anh em thông cảm ha. Thì thôi mình coi tiếp chỗ này đi, tại hổng sao đâu, thì nó cũng vòng vòng có nhiêu đó à. Rồi mình coi tiếp ha anh em. Ờ.
Mountain and marsh from top. One's hexachromatic position is always in flux. Planning is paramount. One's hexachromatic position is always in flux. Planning is paramount. Sound lingers.
Trailblazers from the Astral Express. Welcome to the Dreamscape Sandstorm. Oh, please excuse me. I struggle to think of an appropriate way of addressing such esteemed guests as yourselves. I've already made the necessary preparations. Be careful. We did pass the safety inspection stipulated by Article 027 and comparison Article 076. However, this dreamscape will feature unfiltered and unpolished fresh memory. You will make your bedroom game. Call this type of dream a thrill dream. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing. If you feel that, luckily, I just so happen to be an excellent doctor, albeit a psychiatric one. Let us begin. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. That elegant girl mentioned something before she went.
The nature of this memory is special. Don't ruin the dreamscape experience for anyone else by spoiling the ending. In my estimation, there is no question about it. This is murder.
Murder. Such a foreign word to us. The people of Penacony could never come to any harm while under the watchful protection of the family. In a dream, even if you're bashed 1,000 times with a hammer, at worst, you'll still wake up in reality in a hotel.
Not necessarily. Even if the result does not constitute harm, the criminal intent is clear enough. You specifically came here to cordon off the scene because of the unsavory nature of this case, right?
You're not wrong. Even if there are no casualties, being smashed over the head with a hammer in the middle of the street for no reason at all. This is not the kind of thing that happens on Penacony. You are guests of the Oak family, so you may investigate the crime scene. I'll be on standby over here.
Are you a witch? Just how did you manage to convince them in the blink of an eye that we're some kind of detectives?
Just some suggestions at the memory level. If something happens in everybody's memory, then that something becomes a fact. Rather than hearing endless explanations, would you like to experience it for yourself?
No! Hey, you can save that for the enemy.
Then on to the next order of business. Let's discuss your companion, shall we?
Memo Keeper of the Garden of Recollection. I've been watching you for quite some time. You stole a glance at me when you first entered the hotel. You followed me wherever I went inside the dreamscape. In the windows along the commercial street. In the pond water reflections of the Iden Park. Even in the reflections of the wine glass. Everywhere. My dear, do you have a crush on me? Well then, seeing as you're so interested in me, let's play a little game. I left a puzzle for you, NEO-NtG. Solve it and prove that you're capable of pleasing me. If you can solve it, then we can talk. Don't leave me waiting, my dear. Before Penacony gets flipped upside down, try to find me, catch me, and stop me.
There's actually more than one memo keeper who's come to Penacony. She's mixed me up with someone else. But no harm, no foul. The address that the mask gave you is right here. But you never would have thought that when Miss Sparkle mentioned a game, she was talking about wanton slaughter on the streets of Penacony. Such a direct act of provocation is enough to get my competitive side worked up too.
Madam, Forgive me. I had no idea about anything she said. As you saw, I went through a brain scan and everything. I'm just a friend, helping her deliver a letter. That's all. I never knew this was actually a declaration of warfare. They say you shouldn't kill the messenger. So, maybe you can just, let me go. You all are the big shots here. I'm really not on your level.
What a frightened look you have. Don't worry. Since this has nothing to do with you, I won't be suspecting you of anything. Why don't you come take a stroll with me?
Oh, seems like I can't escape being an assistant detective. Oh, fine. It's all fine. No big deal.
If there's anything you'd like to know, please ask away.
Where's Mr. Shamari right now? I'd like to meet him.
I'm afraid you can't. The Oaks came forward and calmed him down. Mr. Shamari expressed that he understands the unpredictable nature of dreams, and went on to vacation in another dreamscape. Best not to bother him. Guest experiences always have to come first.
Oh, I'm afraid by the time we find him, half of Penacony will have been sent back to reality by Sparkle.
Looks like we'll have to play this little game of sparkles then.
Lady Black Swan, you're here! I'm the constable, and this here assisting me is the bailiff for this case. Mr. Coldfeet, why'd you do it?
So they can talk after all. Miss Black Swan, they're heading straight for you.
Don't interrupt, I wasn't talking to you. Ahem. I understand Lady Black Swan has quite the intellect. I'm sure you'll be able to get to the bottom of the Sparkle murder case.
The Sparkle murder case? Wasn't the victim Shamari from the IPC?
You're wrong, Lady Black Swan. The victim is evidently none other than the matriarch of the Goldhammer family, Miss Sparkle Goldhammer.
Oh, I guess Miss Sparkle has written herself into the skit here, and this has nothing to do with the actual case. Goldhammer? Is that her real surname?
Never heard of it. Sounds made up. Sparkle doesn't sound like a real name either.
Miss Sparkle was supposed to receive 3 valiant warriors at the Goldhammer residence today, but upon their arrival, all they found was her body. Miss Sparkle had been smashed over the head by a hammer and died on the spot. Such a brutal act of violence. My investigations discovered that the 3 warriors were supposed to escort supplies back to their territory the day before, but they were unexpectedly ambushed by the Annihilation Gang. They narrowly escaped and barely got away with their lives, finding their supplies almost completely raided. So they all shared a motive for killing Miss Sparkle, to escape punishment.
So the 3 of them teamed up to kill her.
Is the case closed?
No, there can only be one murderer. It's not an unsolved mystery if there are 3 murderers. Hang on, wait.
If you can't justify it, don't bother.
Got it! Those 3 were all vying against each other to be number 2. They couldn't have cooperated on anything. So it must have been one of them acting alone.
That actually doesn't make much sense. Even if they were on bad terms, those 3...
Please begin your investigation, Lady Black Swan.
I've got the case file right here. If you want to learn more about the suspects, talk to me. Lady Black Swan, allow me to introduce the 3 suspects to you. Lefton, Zhongshan, and Wright. Lefton is one of Miss Sparkle's chief lieutenants, whose right hand was unfortunately severed while he was valiantly fighting off the Annihilation Gang. He's now learning how to write and hold a fork with his left hand. How tough that must be! Then there's Zhongshan. This guy's a coward who ran away as soon as a group spotted some bandits along. Last of all comes Wright. This guy was so insatiably greedy that he still came back to try and embezzle the...
Hang on, I'm confused here.
What? Where did you get that idea from? Do you need me to go?
That won't be necessary. I've
No wonder you're a memo keeper.
Look, an ID card.
Mr. Shamari's belonging.
Holy moly!
Miss Sparkle also...
I'm barely able to... Is that all the evidence? How are we meant to solve this with so little to go on? Oh, you scared me! When did you pop out?
The 2 pieces of evidence that you found are related to the attack on Shamari, but...
Isn't that a bit unnecessary?
No. It's disruptive to have a stack of your relatives.
Seems quite nice of her.
Looks like Miss Sparkle is adding a little spice. What's this little device here?
Don't push it, Lee. That's the mutually assured Miss Sparkle also...
That sounds like...
Correct!
Oh,
Aren't you going to...
okay.
Because...
This is not... What's this? A plush toy?
Regardless of why it's designed to look like the conductor aboard the Astral Express, this doll...
Have you ever heard of something called a...
I see.
That's just in case you didn't...
You don't...
This notice.
That sounded like a story.
This is so her stuff. Doesn't look like there are any more clues.
Next, should we pin down the identity? Lefton! Remember Zhongshan? I remember this one better.
Why don't we flip the question?
If you put it like that, then... So, who remembered Zhongshan's face was disfigured after... Oh, is...
Poor guy. That would suggest...
So, who Lefton... Oh, is that... Oh, is that... Oh, is...
Based on the bailiff Lefton's...
By process of...
Please begin your...
The murderer.
Huh? The next...
Looks like the key to winning lies not in the puzzle itself.
I have to remind you...
That's exactly what I plan on. Right now, let's follow her train.
So why are you so focused on Sparkle's challenge? Or, should I ask, are you more focused on Sparkle her...
I told you. It's purely out of a spirit of competitiveness. And, as a memo keeper, I also have to fulfill my responsibilities and harvest some interesting memories.
Whoa, this place is a complete mess.
Oh, Detective Black Swan and Detective...
We don't know what we'd do without your help.
Why are you talking like that? Is this some sort of a...
Is there something wrong with the way...
Oh, of course.
Huh. The skit this time is a modernist one.
Let's discuss this difficult case then. The victim is a galactic business magnate.
Her again?
Oh, for the laughter. Miss Sparkle came after a long time. There were 3 suspects on the scene.
Our old friends.
It's not just age.
Miss Sparkle is so...
Based on surveillance footage, witness testimony, and various pieces of evidence, the killer is ultimately among these...
You're...
Oh, for the laughter.
Detective Black Swan. Let me introduce the identity. First of all, is the shop next up. Finally, there is that's all the information we have.
Sorry to interrupt your dreamscape experience, Madam Trailbreaker, but don't worry.
First of all, next up. Finally, there is the gambler.
And there's the tag.
Let's skip a...
The tag.
That's not...
There's an accounting book line.
On the...
This chin.
So...
Miss Sparkle.
She doesn't want to distract our investigation? A little stool that seems...
The footprints.
Perhaps it's...
That's
Mr. Sam.
somebody's.
Even among the fools.
Have you dealt?
No, only a handful.
This.
Open it up and
Oh, there's a ring.
Because this ring was found.
in the victim's.
Hey, there's something engraved in. That should be it. Let's head out.
I have to thank you, Mr. Assistant Detective, but
Have you found out who the killer is?
just some shallow intuition. Anyway,
Oh, for the laughter!
pretty much.
You live up to your reputation. Then go ahead. Good. Then let us appreciate your... This guy?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. This ring is a piece.
That's right. What's what he'd stole? Who could have put it?
As you can imagine, the Mr. Assistant.
Ah, I see. Sheriff.
Correct, Detective.
Sheriff, the murderer is
Yes, for the...
dead. Right from the start, there was no.
Goodness me, Deputy.
Look, Miss Sparkle has given.
I take it so seriously. Anyway,
So that's it? This is just.
then I wish you both the...
Just as you said, solving puzzles is all just a cover for something else. That girl is toying with us. What should we do now?
Miss Black Swan, Mr. Sampo.
A murder in a...
As expected.
Yesterday, the butler, Jean,
As soon as I heard...
the room was
Thinking quickly.
besides us and Jean.
Presumably. Why don't you skip off?
Wait,
No cheating!
Huh. Mr. Let's go.
Hey, Miss Black Swan. Ding-a-ling! Now comes the most exciting and romantic moment in any drama. The audience challenge. Everyone knows that the mighty masked fool Sparkle can change her appearance to look like others. And in this drama, the villain Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. So then, I put to you, which character is it? Also, if you're interested in the locked room case that the memo keeper ignored, you can try out your powers of deduction. I put lots into coming up with the puzzle, so don't let it go to waste. Thus, the masked genius Miss Sparkle has thrown down the gauntlet. All the clues are in motion. Happy hunting!
Miss, why didn't you just do this earlier?
Such a crude approach violates my aesthetics of memory. But as a means to an end, I need to put this aside for a more indifferent process.
In fact,
There's no weird.
hey! Dear Memo, I didn't expect you to... Listen up.
No murder case.
Sometimes it's nice.
Seeing as we're in Penacony,
Womp womp. The correct answer is... Sparkle! When sleepy in the morning, she can't so naturally. She's got 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the evening.
What the heck was that jibber jab?
what a cute.
Thanks for the compliment, my dear.
Eternal.
divination, converge and awaken.
Good time. Time to say bye. Boom. Relax.
Holy smoke!
Huh? No voices?
Wait. Something's off.
Miss, you killed Sparkle! How is this possible? How can people die inside Penacony's dreamscape? In the Garden of Recollection. What did you do? You did this, didn't you? Killing people in their dreams. Oh, I understand. You refused.
There is no death inside Penacony's dreamscape. There's no need to take such great pains. If you just... You. Sparkle has disguised herself as another character.
This? Don't. If you want to accuse me of being Sparkle, you have to provide the evidence. Oh, I'm afraid evidence.
The hint for the final question was...
Oh, you mean the locked room?
all the painstaking effort that missed. The key to solving the puzzle lay in two pieces of information put forward by the detective. Based on my shallow understanding, I can only draw two conclusions. One is that but based on the detective's description, this locked room did not delay the discovery of the body. That being so, the murderer seems to have no reason for creating a locked room. There is also reason to speculate. As for my second conclusion, it's even more obvious still. When everyone broke into the scene of the answer is simple. At the time, I was in such a hurry that I didn't... And so, when he learned this, that's why he had to rush to the crime. Of course, this is just a simple mind game, which means it's you, Mr. Sampo. I've been using this term of a...
Has anyone ever told you that you're more like a detective?
In my opinion, there is no difference between the two. Follow ripples, the truth does not lie.
Exquisite reasoning, and very close to the truth.
Another answer?
The great artiste Sparkle locked herself away in her bedroom using red paint to create the set. Was not the murder.
What a pity, such a pity. My dear, Miss Sparkle's body. Sparkle was disguised as... Ding-a-ling! I won!
Does Miss Sparkle's body even count as a real character?
Why not? Miss Sparkle's body appeared in all three of those skits just then.
It's a little bit forced, but it's fine. So, who is this Mr. Sampo, then?
Beautiful lady. I already confessed everything to you earlier on. I really didn't know a thing. I just helped a friend send a letter. That's...
So I've been running a fool's errand this whole time.
My dear, why so serious? Haven't you been having a good... You take memories, and I get joy. We get what we need from each other, seeing as we're such kindred spirits, but also such loners. Why don't you come and work with me? Ooh, we can dance ballet together.
Oh? Am I understanding this correctly? A masked fool.
A show of unprecedented splendor is about to be staged in Penacony. If you're too late... If you want to appreciate this drama, you have to stand up under that spotlight as you take the stage and watch the dancing envelop you. Come with me. This is the best seat in the house.
I don't really understand why you're so fixated on... Also, I don't consider you a loner. Oh, I don't mean him, but rather behind the one who hired you to come to Penacony prop.
How did you know?
Memory is like the deep blue sea. But if you...
Memo Keeper. Did you think you could just...
Why not?
My dear, I don't want to scare you. You'll know the answer sooner or later. We're just getting to know each other a little today. If you ever change your mind, come find me at the tavern. That is, if you can find me. Let's go, Sampo? Sampo. Who is... Sampo?
This is Bellabog, right?
I said, why not? Don't worry. Such a crude approach violates my statics of memory. So once you leave my sight, you'll be able to remember everything again. And also, I'm sorry, my dear. My dream dance partner? I've already got sights on someone else.
Nói chung là chơi sống hiểu mẹ vậy chứ.
What a special dream this has been. But did you notice it's nested struck? That's the end of Miss Blatch. I noticed that the people in your things and our dreams cannot be trusted.
Really? I wouldn't do anything to her.
Don't worry about that, Memo Keeper. Let's talk about my thing. I've helped you out with everything. Shouldn't you give my mask back to me now?
Since when did the masked fools suddenly start respecting agreement? Just kidding. I loved seeing that look on your face. Take this key to the tavern cellar, third barrel on the left. You never saw him. But Sampo, after all this time, what made you suddenly want to take back your mask? Let me guess. A catastrophe is coming.
Well, no comment about that. But I love that line you said. If you're too late to take the stage, you can work behind the scenes. That really makes sense. Sometimes even an old-timer like me feels like taking this...
If you're all out of options, please get in touch with me. I'm the kind of person who...
Forget it. You'll be doing me a favor if you stay away from Bellabog. After all the elation that Miss Sparkle seeks. Isn't something old Sempo... Go tell Giovanni I said hi.
Fine, I'm just spitballing here. Don't take it so... Why so... Sound ringers.
Before we talk about...
Bữa nay tới đây anh em ơi, quá mệt rồi, bữa khác tiếp.